Recently, Syrian state media has confirmed that the Damascus International Airport has suffered a major damage following an Israeli missile attack. The airport was targeted by a bunch of missiles fired from the Israeli territory named Golan Heights at 4:20 am in the morning. The intensity of Israeli bombing was excessive and led to chaos among the passengers at the Damascus airport. Nations, including Pakistan, had to send immediate emergency flights to evacuate their stranded citizens from the Damascus airport amid the heavy Israeli bombing. All this geopolitical tension started with the assassination of a high profile Iranian military colonel. Colonel Hassan Sayad was killed by gunmen outside his home in Tehran. Gunmen riding on motorcycle opened fire on Colonel Hassan, killing him in his car. Iranian authorities have accused the regional enemy Israel for the bloody assassination. Israeli media blames that the Iranian colonel headed the Iran's overseas armed unit known as the Quds Force that had planned attacks on the Israeli citizens living abroad. Iran's president called for revenge on Monday over the killing of the senior military colonel in Tehran. Iran is supposedly planning to harm the Israeli nationals in the neighboring Middle Eastern countries and has also started smuggling weapons to its proxy Hezbollah through the Damascus airport. Hezbollah has targeted Israeli territory at multiple occasions, costing lives of many Israeli citizens. Israeli agencies stated that bombing of the Damascus airport was necessary so as to protect the Israeli territory from Hezbollah and Iranian aggression. Israel too has invited international scrutiny due to the sudden and indiscriminate bombing of the Damascus airport. Syria's ally, Russia, has strongly condemned the Israeli attack and called it a clear-cut violation of the international norms. Iran has accused Israel of carrying out similar attacks on Iranian nuclear scientists a decade ago. In the last year, Iran blamed Israel for killing Mohsen Farizadeh, Iran's chief nuclear scientist who was the mastermind behind the country's nuclear program. The killing of the senior military colonel comes at a very tough time for Iran. With Israel's support, the former president Donald Trump withdrew America from the Tehran's nuclear deal and reimposed sanctions on Iran. The Iranian negotiations with the current Biden administrations aimed at restoring the nuclear agreement remains deadlocked. The European Union's envoy for nuclear talks visited Tehran earlier this month in hopes of finding a compromise but came without any results. Due to United States sanctions along with the Iranians' economic mismanagement has led to high inflation and high youth unemployment and rising poverty in Iran. Also, Russia's war on Ukraine has affected the global supply chains. To compensate the rising cost and the high inflation, the Iranian government in the last month removed many subsidies and raised prices as much as 300% on other food items. This move has deepened the economic despair and public anger and has caused widespread protest against the government across several provinces in Iran. Out of sheer chaos and frustration, the Iranian administration might take some unprecedented step against Israel, which might escalate the tensions in the Middle East. So that was it for this video, guys. If you genuinely enjoyed the video, then do consider liking it, subscribe to the channel and share it with those who are interested in videos like these. Bye.